Love that song. That keeps me going. Welcome. Hey, everybody. I'm Mark, and normally you see there's a different guy sitting next to me right now. Logan's on his way. Gonzo's he's going to be sitting this one out tonight. He's still feeling kind of sickly today. He had his chemo today, so he's going to be stepping out tonight. But we have a special guest with us tonight, Mr. Alphinious Goo, which he's coming all the way from Colorado Springs, which is a little bit far from Florida here. So we're glad to have him, and we have him on tonight as a little special treat here to talk to us. We discovered, thanks to Pale Rider, he clued us in on a really cool Kickstarter, and I thought I would start by showing you a quick little video about the Kickstarter, kind of pique everyone's interest here, and then we'll have Mr. Goo talk about it a little bit. So give this a try. Get a little inception going on here in a second. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. That gives me an option here.
Spin your little top, right? To spin your
let's see. Oh, that might be too small. I mean, let me try this. Hold on. I think I like full screen better.
That was cool, though. I kind of
it was. All right, let's do this again. All right, so here's the inception I was talking about. Like, it's going to be kind of crazy looking. Yeah, very trippy. All right, let's see it. Hopefully audio works with this. I'm going to go. Here we go. I'd be going too slow maybe.
Yeah, no audio, but pretty pictures.
Yes, very pretty pictures. All right. I was afraid of that. All right, so that was a shot. We're going to take a shot. Let's see how it was. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. All right, so we gave it a shot with the technology here, but I'm going to drop a link down in chat here, and you can also have it in the description. You can go and see more about it, but yeah, you saw some cool visual kind of stuff here. But Mr. Goo is going to talk a little bit about this Kickstarter. We saw it, Pale Rider told me about it. Gonzo and I looked at it, and it's very, very impressive. Then he came on before the show and told me more about it, and I've been more impressed. So first of all, let's talk about how well it did. That really piqued people. That's what got my attention pretty quickly. You were trying to get what, 10,000 for this Kickstarter?
Yeah, 10,000 was the goal, and we funded that in 2 minutes. And then over the last, 15, 18 days, I guess we're doggone close now to $100,000 in pledges. So it's really going tremendously well, which is honestly, thank goodness, because this year has been quite tough on us as well as many other folks, So
sure,
our community stepped up, and people are really liking what we're showing, Mark. And by the way, thank you for having this old wizard on your show. And
oh, absolutely.
Will you give my best to Gonzo and
I will.
My
I will.
regards? Yes,
he's in chat too right now. FYI, he's in there as Gonzo the Great. But yes, he's hearing you. So thank you.
Good.
I'll pass it on.
Gonzo,
yes, thank you.
Yes, be well. So we started this thing in 2019, and we had a concept, we had an idea, because I think I believe this, and I bet you say this is true, Mark. So I'm going to interview you for a second, Mark. I'm going to ask you the questions. You're a game master, yes? You do this.
Yes, sir. Right? Yes, sir. Dungeon Master, correct.
Is there anything we care more about than at the end of the session, at the end of the night, our players look at us and go, "That was a great game."
Oh yeah, that's the pay right there.
Is there anything more? There's
nothing more. That's why we do it.
So in the old days, right, immersion was different, and people have to recognize this, because we didn't have computer games, right?
Yes,
it was all here. It was all dancing in the mind, right? And if you remember, a lot of those earlier modules, they had these handouts and things that would be included, extra little things, props, and those kinds of things. And you took them and you helped bring people more to this immersive place, right? Because they could see the pictures and all that stuff. And a picture really is worth 1,000 words.
Yes.
And so we began with the old school being the premise, because we thought that all of the way things are being done now were far away from that, and they had lost something in the translation. And so that was the genesis of Gooey Cube.
Very good.
I can keep going if you want, but I don't have to. I can be very verbose at times.
So you get a box. So this is, and there's different levels. Those of you who've done Kickstarters, you probably know that there's all different levels depending on what you pay. And a Kickstarter, for those of you people who know what a Kickstarter is, it's a great way of funding something before, I don't know, you probably put maybe capital in ahead of time, but it's a great way to people to get what they need to make something happen, a project. And so one of the things you need to create something is you need a lot of cash, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. And their goal was $10,000. That was their goal, to get this off the ground. That was what they were heading for. In 2 minutes time, they got that, like in 2 minutes right out of the gate, which is amazing for a Kickstarter. And so I imagine there's stretch goals. I've not looked to see, but often what happens as these things, and that's so as this goes bigger and bigger, the more that they start putting stretch goals in there. So this is a normal thing on Kickstarter. So let's say once we get to say 20,000, you're going to get this, and when you get to 30,000, we're going to add this into the box. And what's really great for the people who buy in is, one, they get to buy into a great product, but number two, they get to watch this product that they backed get even better and better right before their eyes. There was things that they were promised in the beginning and it just gets better and better. And so I would encourage everyone to go to that site. I put it in the chat. I also put it in the description. It's the kind of thing that Gonzo and I, we were talking about this with Dark Sun campaign from back in the day. We're going through the box and we're like, look at this. It had the books. It had all these character sheet kind of things and cards and things like you said to help the DM do their job. And honestly, a campaign is not an overnight thing. And it could go 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3. This could go on for quite a while. So, what a great product to have to support you down that road. And as a DM, you're helping to take a lot of that legwork away. There's a lot of those of you who know, and chat knows, are people that DM. When you have to create things, there's a lot of things you got to do on the fly. And honestly, as Alphinious and I were talking before this, that Wizards of the Coast makes good books and stuff, but there's a lot to be desired when it comes to trying to find things you need, find it on the fly. You're flipping back and forth in the book trying to find it. Having those hard things that you can just pull up, cards and pictures and anything that you can throw in the box for us, maps, all of that helps the DM tremendously. So,
well, Mark, you all are helping people, right, to learn, to improve their game master skills.
Yes.
And I've been doing this a long time, 40 some years,
Yes.
And what I really believe is that the pinnacle for me. Now, again, I don't want to throw shade. There's some people's at tables, they really just want to run combats. They really want to have fun. There's crazy people who just want to goof off and drink beer and smoke things that right. But for me, the pinnacle of a game, and I think we share a little bit of this philosophy. The pinnacle of the game is a great tale where the players really feel like they're there. They're in it. It's part of their living, right? They're actually experiencing what's going on with these characters. And what we have tried to do is to put together a tale, first of all, that's really good, but also facilitate the game master's ability to run a better game, to take off of their plates, as you were saying, a lot of prop work and prep work that isn't really preparing for the game, while also giving them a lot of ammunition to make that game special. And
yes.
And I believe in my heart of hearts that we have achieved that. And I'm getting enough emails and stuff back from people now, enough game masters who are saying things like, I've been game mastering 20 years. I'm playing with a group of people that have been playing for 20 years, and we are having some of the best games we've ever had with the Darkest Dream and the Red Star Rising campaign. So I think
that's amazing.
we're onto something, and it's really enjoyable. And I just think what you all do here is fabulous. Because there are a lot of people who are trying to figure out how to be better at this thing, right?
Yes.
And you all are helping folks do that, and that is magnificent.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, and I would say, based on what I saw from the Kickstarter, this and what you just said, this is not your first creation. You're not new to creating things like this. I saw an interesting. You've been doing this a while. No, go ahead.
No, from a game standpoint, it is our first creation from gaming. But I've been doing advertising, marketing, and writing and stuff my whole life, right? And so this was sort of a passion project that we just kind of decided we were going to try and do. And we had this great idea. We're going to make this product, and then we're going to all these conventions, in 2020, right? And excuse me, and we're going to go to all these conventions. We're going to have success, and we'll be breaking even by the end of the year at least, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We haven't been to a damn convention since February, right? So
I know. That we had big plans with conventions too, and it was like, well, that went out the window. So yeah. And honestly, I think it's been, it may have helped maybe maybe your campaign a bit. Maybe people had to stay home, and they're thinking about playing D&D more, and they go, oh, that looks like a good thing. And who knows? That might have been the blessing here.
Well,
so
we also
Logan,
have a great community, Mark, and I really hope that you and Gonzo and Logan, after all this, maybe come look at our Facebook group and come see. I think we would be honored to have you a part of that. And part of the concept behind GUI Cube is the creation of what we call a collaborative world, and you can actually contribute things to our supplements and our materials. We've put people's characters into the Weirded World already. We have more coming. It's a whole different idea than sort of what is out there right now with most people who are producing these things.
Yeah, so I would say good point. You brought up the fact that it's part of a community kind of effort as well. On top of it, you're not only getting a product, but you're plugging into a community, which is, I think, an added benefit, to say the least. I would encourage everyone to go to that Kickstarter link, because there's some nice videos where he shows unboxing what you get and everything, as well as talks about everything you just talked about as far as being connected and contributing, which I think is great. I'm going to bring Logan in here because he's got some questions for you, Alphinious, and there's a couple of questions from chat.
There's a couple in chat too. Hi, Logan.
Yes. So he's going to go ahead, Logan. Logan, can you hit him up with some questions? We'll take some from chat, and then we got to get on to some minifigures.
Yeah, mini. Listen, before you all do this, I just want to tell you something. I am a mini fanatic, okay? I have been collecting them since the first box of Grenadier ever came out, and Superior minifigs. And when Raul Parfa was doing the 25, which were really more like 23.5 millimeter miniatures, right? And I've been collecting ever since. I love them. So I might even stick around and watch after you kick me out of the stream. I'm interested in seeing what you got to say.
Yeah, well, no, that's the good stuff. Raul Partha days. You're talking. That's way back.
Superior minifigs, which were marvelous, which nobody even remembers. The early days of Games Workshop, when their figures were really weird,
Right. Yeah. All right, Logan. What question you have?
First of all, Alphinious, you're cool, man. You're sitting in your chair with your study. You got your beard. You got that awesome voice. And I'm just sitting here watching you thinking, I can make this guy into an awesome NPC.
so Logan, Alphinious Goo is in the Weirded World. So he has a tower that is about 50 miles up river, up the Missoon River from the city of Darkenhaven. Mm-hmm. And if you and Mark and Gonzo would be so interested in doing something like that, we could probably make something for the three of you. Figure out some place we could put you in the Weirded World as well.
Awesome.
So we can have a chat about that later.
Yeah, it's like that idea. That's very cool.
Dude, that's awesome.
All right. So what
So
questions you have, Logan?
It's kind of a random question, but I kind of like hearing what is your favorite monster from D&D and why? I've been currently I'm running a little campaign with my siblings, with my dad, and kind of like a little mini thing. I'm trying to find some really unique, cool monsters. So I wanted to pick your brain.
It kind of depends, it depends on what's going on, right? Because if you're having a good gothic horror thing, there's certain direction you'd run, right? If you're having more of a swampy sort of creepy swampiness, you go a different direction. But you probably can guess from the name of our company what my favorite creature is. And I can still, in my mind, I've never read it, never heard it, but I can see in my mind Dave Arneson and Gary Gygax and all the rest of those goofballs, marvelous that they were, and rest in peace, right? Sitting around, and all of a sudden one of them puts on the table a big green dice and says, "You're being attacked by a Jello cube," right? And they were like, "Oh my God, a Jello cube! What is that?" So gooey cubes are my favorite. I'm actually working. Alphinious is working on it, so is Kim, which is my real name. Alphinious is working on a total book on the physiologies of the gooey cubes.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll release that sometime in 2021 or maybe early 2022.
That's awesome. I remember as a young reader getting into, fantasy and all those things. There's this book that was released. I don't know if we have it here in the studio, but it was about kind of the physiology of the dragon and like the anatomy. And it breaks down the different kinds of dragons, the chromatic ones and each of their personalities, their favorite layers. And so I've always loved this kind of lore books that really help you get to know the monsters. So that'd be something I'll definitely be looking out for.
Marvelous.
That's at least so sweet.
All right, we've got a question here from Rivers. He wanted to know, what edition did you start with, Phineas?
Yeah, well, the white box. Yes, I was with the white box. And then relatively soon after, though, because I didn't start when I was super young. I started playing when I was about 16. And so that would have been 1975, 76, right in that time frame. And of course, the white box was there. But very, very soon thereafter, second edition came out. And second edition, right, which they called Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, right, which was the AD&D, right? And everybody went crazy for AD&D, and we all bought these books, and we bought like four or five copies of them because, you just did, you're going crazy, and you play with all these people and all these spell lists and all this stuff that's so much beyond the white box, right? And so we played second ed for probably, 25 years. I messed around with 3 a little bit, 3.5, right, 3.5, and never touched 4. But about 10 years ago, because I really wanted to give our players more room to make characters their own, we moved and played Pathfinder. And we played Pathfinder 1E for probably 10 years. But over the last couple of years, as we've been doing Gooey Cube, we looked at 5th edition. We thought that would be the best edition to roll out Gooey Cube. And we are going to create balanced classes and balanced paths for players to be able to enjoy, so that everybody's not all just a rogue, right? So we're going to work on it. So no, that's me. 40 plus years of gaming. Yes, you can tell by my gray hair. Yes, and my lack thereof. Yes.
So Gonzo, who's in chat with us, he asked, what's your favorite box, Phineas? So you think of all the box sets. We just mentioned Dark Sun being one of them. Is there any other box sets that really kind of stick out that is like your favorite? Or?
So I have a couple that, I'm also a little bit of a collector of those things too.
Yeah.
So when Waterdeep in the North came out in its little magazine format, right? And I can't remember when, though, 83 or something like that. It might have even been earlier than that. It might have been the late 70s, early 80s. It just blew my mind. And later on, of course, it was repurposed by Wizards of the Coast quite a number of times. And they made a box set called Waterdeep in the North, which was just spectacular, beautiful stuff. And then there was also a box set about Menzoberranzan. And Menzoberranzan.
Oh, yeah.
It was just marvelous, right?
Yes.
But my favorite box set, and I'm not lying to you, my favorite box set is The Darkest Dream. The Darkest Dream that we have made, this thing that we have made, if you want to take your game, I don't care how long you've been game mastering. I don't care how experienced you are. If you want to take your game to another level and you want to experience a tale, a real tale, because we cliffhang the game master, Logan, Mark. We cliffhang chapter 1. You know how in most of these things you get 5 paragraphs right at the beginning that are kind of boring, right?
Yeah, sure.
The whole story all in 5 paragraphs.
Right, yes.
We don't do that. No.
Uh-oh.
So chapter 1, we will tell you enough of the tale to run chapter 1. And then we will cliffhang your butts right at the end. Yes, we will.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Then chapter 2, we will give you enough to run chapter 2. Now, that doesn't mean you still can't do your spiciness and add your little side things and all the stuff that you do. You still do it.
Yeah.
But we want to entertain the game master first.
Wow.
And you know why that is?
Why is that?
Because I'm a freaking game master and I hate people.
Well done. Well done. You know, it occurs to me that you have a good point, you know, that one of the worst, I'm an English major, I'm an English teacher. And I hate like the 19th century writing where they gave all the background information up front and then they started the story. And what you just said just resonates with me because I'm like, yeah, why do we bring all that stuff? And as a DM, you read through all this stuff and you never really need that, you know? So that's a really good point.
I've gotten enough. Originally, we went to Gen Con and we had no idea because our stuff really is fairly breakthrough. It really is unique, okay? Yeah. And we went to Gen Con and we were kind of all scared because we spent all this money and all this time. And then we were on Entrepreneurs Row, which everybody tells you, you know, you aren't going to sell anything because nobody comes over there, right? And all this stuff, right? Well, we ended up selling like crazy. And people were coming over to see us and all this stuff. And then we started getting emails after that. And then more people started coming. We went to Dragon Con and we almost sold out everything we had at Dragon Con. And we started getting more emails from game masters saying things like I was telling you at the beginning, Mark. I've been playing for 20 years. I've been game mastering for 20 years. I'm with a group that's been playing for 20 years, and they're saying this is the best games we've ever run.
Oh, really?
This is the kind of stuff that we are getting from game masters who are very experienced and new game masters who are saying, you made it so much easier on me. Wow. And I really believe the reason why we were able to do this is because we were stupid about we don't have a product manager who's worrying about margin. We don't have a bunch of shareholders who are saying, you know, you're going broke. We're selling all your stock. You know, we have 3 stupid guys who wanted to make really cool game stuff, right? And so that's what I think has really happened, and it's resonating with people, and our community is growing, and we love Ryder. He was great to introduce us. So I'm sorry, that was a long answer to a short question. No,
that does it. So a couple things before you go. One is, do you have a YouTube channel? Someone asked in chat.
Yeah, there's a Gooey Cube YouTube. It's just search Gooey Cube and you'll see this old fat wizard on there, and you'll see some really good. I mean, listen, our trailers for our games are really good. You can get an unboxing video, but if you go to the Kickstarter page, actually, you'll get most of that stuff, and you can pledge, and I don't think you'll regret it. I think that what's coming is pretty amazing. So,
that's good stuff. Well, and we have to ask before you go, do you have any minis nearby that you can show us?
Well, I got to get my butt up, but let's give me a moment.
All right. Yeah. So while he's grabbing some minis, welcome everybody. I know a lot of you tuned in to look at minis, but we had this opportunity we wanted to share with you, and it's such a great product that we couldn't help sharing. There's just not a sponsorship or anything. Just we saw something pretty cool and we wanted to share it. So I know Logan was kind of in the dark on this, didn't know this was coming either. So surprise!
Cool. He's
amazing.
got the best wizardly persona, doesn't he?
I know. Yeah. He's like an elf. I love it. Yeah, it's good stuff. And I should mention up front before anybody, in case no one knows or have noticed, today is Cyber Monday, but Wizards of the Coast always does their sale today. Yeah. So today is the D&D Beyond $19.99 or less for the books if you do D&D Beyond. And I think Alphinious grabbed some figures he's going to show us.
Let's see him.
Oh, now that. Balrog? It is a Balrog, isn't it?
This is the Balrog from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, not just any Balrog. Yeah. Oh, nice.
That is awesome.
And then there is this guy.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Love
it.
Wow.
Nice artwork. Yeah, nice painting.
That's awesome.
Well, I can't take credit for the paint job on this one. This is a friend of mine, but it's pretty spectacular. I've got a lot of minis. Miss Goo said I'm crazy, so
one man's treasure, another person's trash, but whatever. Yeah, to each his own. But no, that's awesome. And that makes a good transition to our next thing. So I appreciate you coming in, Alphinious. And we'll point people that way, and we appreciate you taking the time to talk about this. And kudos on how well that Kickstarter's done, man. That's epic stuff, and it's well deserved. So thank you,
Gonzo. Thank you. I wish I had seen your face, but we'll do it another time. And Mark, thank you so much, and Logan, thank you.
Thank you.
Really was marvelous to be with you. So let's chat afterwards though about this gooey den and some other things. So maybe we do that when you at your leisure.
Yep, no problem. Yeah, we'll make that happen.
Beautiful. Thank you both.
All right. See you. Bye-bye. That's awesome. Good stuff. Cool. I know. Very good. All right. So, figures. So, Logan, to start you off, I think you've got a couple figures around you.
You can see. I've got just a few here. I think one of them I had actually just pulled out that Alphinious inspired me with. And my very own beholder. Let's see if we can get
Yes, good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yes, beholder. Always a classic.
Behold.
And not as easy as one might think to paint either.
No, there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
And I think if you guys can see it, there's like these holes. We're missing some of the eye stalks.
Oh, no.
Whether that's just from moving it around and using it in the game and moving it back to the studio, or if the cats got a hold of it, the dungeon cats. Who knows? But we're missing a few eye stalks. So Santa, if you're listening, we need some more beholder minis.
All right. You can't have too many. There's one thing more. If there's one thing more terrifying than a beholder is a bunch of beholders.
Oh, yeah. Like they have, and they have like, beholder kind of crime lords, like, in Baldur's Gate,
right.
Big crime lord. But can you imagine a crime syndicate made entirely of this pact of beholders who, in their xenophobic madness, have decided they got to stick together, but then at the same time they're constantly trying to backstab each other and gain the upper hand. That'd be cool. Someone write that down. That'd be
it would. I think we just recorded it right there, so we have it for posterity. Good job. All right, so Gonzo said it was the dungeon cats that ate the eye stalks. Apparently,
that sounds about right.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to show you one of my minis here. All right, so
I don't want to do a drum roll because I don't want to blow out the microphone, but
so this one here, I hope that one. This is the
Splicer Beast.
The Splicer Beast. I can't say that I did not paint this one. I'll show you my paint jobs here in a second here. But so this one was very good. I like the choice of gold for the tentacles. That's a different artistic choice. But who said there have to be purple or green, which is what they often are represented. But I like this. Splicer Beasts are always interesting to me because it's like a panther crossed with an alien or something. They're really good stuff. So I love Splicer Beasts because they're a nice low level creature that could really mess up your party pretty quickly.
And it's fun to mix it up to where it's not just you run through panthers. You could be fighting these panthers and all of a sudden it gets really ticked off and these two tentacles kind of come out of its back.
Right.
And you find out later it's a Splicer Beast.
Kian's making a comment about your beats, but Kian, I got beats on too.
Kian Chan.
So it isn't just Logan. So yes,
Tanner. If you're still watching, Tanner, how's it going?
Yeah, Tanner, welcome, Kian, welcome. Welcome everybody. I'm getting an opportunity to see Rivers in here. And D20's in here. D20 probably has like every figure ever made, I'm guessing.
Overboard, Robert.
Cujo, Cujo's in here. And Gonzo, and it's good. We got a good group here. Oh, yeah, Gonzo. I've heard of him.
A quick Gonzo update for all of our friends. Gonzo's doing good. He posted it earlier in chat, but he just came out of chemo today. He was in there for like I don't know. It was
5 hours. He said
it was like 5 or 6. It was like 1,000,000 hours of chemo. So he's pretty tired, but he's doing well. All his numbers look good. And as opposed to losing weight, which commonly happens with with being sick and stuff, he's been able to gain some weight over Thanksgiving break. And he's been able to get some muscle back, so he's looking good. He's doing good. He sends his love and his greetings to all of our friends in Dungeon Class. So hi to Gonzo, and he's excited for the mini live stream, and he loves minis, so I'm sure he'll be back, and we'll be doing more mini live streams and more minis videos. If Gonzo got his way, he'd probably just have a channel just for minis, and he'd just be painting minis in it, and he'd be showing minis off. He loves it.
Yeah, many, and I'm learning to paint. It's one of those things where I looked at it and like, I took art. I'm fairly artistic, but for me, it's been my eyes being able to see the detail, which brings me to this little handy toy that I discovered. I'm sure some of the younger people in the chat there probably don't think they need something like this, but these are pretty handy, man. Yeah, you put this on and you can really see the detail on these guys.
Look back up at the camera again.
Yeah.
There.
Maybe I should wear these on the stream all the time.
It looks like one of those weird filters you can do, like in the photo booth.
What? My eyes look big?
Just a little.
Just a little bit big?
What do those do, Mark? Aside from helping you look super cool, what do those do?
I can see all the details in there, and I can actually get in there. I noticed when I was doing my vampire, I couldn't even see his eyes in there, So, but we got some people coming on who want to show some stuff here. So I'm gonna bring on Rivers, and then Mike. Looks like we got here. I'm just in the order that he kind of got in here. So all right, Rivers.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing great. Hey, you have some figures to show us?
Yeah, I do. I grabbed a few that I painted myself. Well, actually, this guy did not paint myself, but he's still my favorite because he's the first one I got.
Okay.
And I showed him in a video a while back.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a Rel Partha Mini.
I was going to say, that looks metal.
Yeah, they're all metal, actually. All the ones I picked out are metal.
Nice.
Even the newer ones that I did. Wizard here.
That's awesome.
Oh, dude, I love it.
Yeah, I did that guy, and like I said, the Rel Partha one, the first one was probably 30 years old now.
Wow.
And this one's not far behind. He's probably.
Did you paint
20 years? This one I painted, and this one here I did with testers paint, which is a gloss paint.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And
is it harder painting the metallic figures as opposed to the little plastic ones that we get now, or?
I think it's a little harder because you got to prime them yourself.
Yeah, I've heard that.
The plastic ones come primed now, and I think they're great to paint.
Yeah.
Which I just didn't pull any out because here's one. I painted this one up and I put it on a washer because she doesn't stand very well.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Love it. Those are great, man.
Have like a little Phantom of the Opera mask going on there, or
on the
figure.
Warrior, the last one you showed.
Oh, that was my attempt at trying to get her eyes.
Oh.
Yeah,
you just need.
Yeah,
you need these.
It is so tough.
You just need these, Rivers. That's it.
Yeah.
They're like $20 on or under $20 on Amazon. I was going to get the big magnifying glass, but I'm like, wait a minute. This is for jewelry, I guess, originally. But yeah, I'm like, and they have different ones you can put on that are even stronger. So, yeah. That's what happens when you're older.
Exactly.
When you were young, you could see the eyes just fine.
Yes. Yeah. You could paint the eyes when you're 20 or 30, maybe.
Right.
But now it's like, what eyes?
I know. Well, awesome. Those are good shares, buddy. I appreciate it. They appreciate you coming on.
Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to get rolling here because I got to get up before 4 tomorrow.
Ooh.
Opening.
Man.
So
That's one reason I want to get you, and I know you got the early times. Well, thanks for coming on, Rivers. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate you guys having me. And Gonzo, God bless. I'll keep you in my prayers. And you guys have a good one. Have a good game.
All right, bye, Rivers.
Awesome.
Now this guy,
hey
this guy, I'm sure has a couple figures laying around.
The Mini King.
Is audio working okay?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, just want to make sure. Something I mentioned last time that I've got right here. I don't know how I held on to this. Here's the original box that these guys come in. Bought it probably around 40 years ago. And it come from, look like Grenadier Models. You can see are the people who made it out of Springfield, PA or something right there.
Grenadier, yeah.
Even came with a little thing inside that showed you what all of them were, gave a little description and all that.
Cool.
And yeah, all these little guys were painted like 40 years ago. It's a little snake.
Oh my gosh.
So they've held up great over time, huh?
They have. He's got a little scratched on top from being and stuff, but
battle damage.
Battle damage, that's right.
Little troll right there.
That is so cool.
So yeah, these were all swamp guys, and the lizard men, some of them held up pretty well.
Yeah.
Like I say, I've painted some recently, and I know what you mean about the eyes. Can't paint them nearly as well as what I used to. Yeah. There's another one with a shield, and his little sword has gotten lost somewhere along the way.
Wow.
Right there.
Awesome.
But yeah, all these little fellas have been around. Like I say, they're all lead too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Which is why we see. So Logan, this is what part of the brain damage that we all got was
there's a
because they're
Shambling
all
Mound.
lead. So we played with these a lot. Yeah.
Hold on. Can you bring up that Shambling Mound again?
Shambling Mound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Gonzo's favorite. Is his Shambling Mound. So if we can compare.
Oh yeah, it's changed a little bit over the years. Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's kind of funny because the art, like about 3.5 is like really great, you know, but back in first edition, second edition was a little more primitive. So
And there's even a little basilisk that came with the group.
Oh yeah, it looks like kind of a flat basilisk.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a little low rider right there, but he's got those little horns and toenails painted and all that. But yeah, those are all swamp denizens right there. And like I say, I'm amazed. I think I'm impressed more that I've still got the box more than anything.
Yeah. Like Gonzo said, it's probably worth hundreds.
When you look for those collectibles, you know, they'll pay more for the box than they will what came in it.
Yes.
Because that's what you can't find anymore.
Right. Yeah, you might have a pristine little figures, but you don't have the box that they came in. That's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah. And how on earth did you preserve all this? Because like to keep them.
I was just always good about keeping and holding on to stuff.
Wow.
And all that. Even had a good collection of some old comics or whatever, and turned my back one day and my mom ditched them all at a garage sale or whatever. I could have died. And, you know, one thing I always tell people, I remind us every time I see her, I can remember buying it, and I had a perfect original Silver Surfer first one ever made.
Way.
Ain't no telling how many thousands that thing goes for right now. And I remember when I saw it, I said, that'll be worth something one day, and kept it for so long, and it got given away or whatever.
I'm sure Gonzo just passed out because Gonzo is a big comic collector.
Yeah, Dad is a huge comic collector. He's currently working on, filling out some of his key issues that he's been wanting, and he's always looking on eBay auctions and following channels. And he's got some cool ones. He's got, I got my eye on him. And,
one thing I like about those lead ones, being heavy, they'd stand up better, it seems. The little plastic ones are so tipsy and all, but
yeah. Especially when you
plastic ones with
and the plastic ones, they look cool and they have a cool design, but sometimes they didn't design them to stand up that well. And the lead ones that solve that problem. Yeah.
River
I saw
a washer on the bottom of it to keep it standing up for one of them.
And that's what I was going to say. I saw a company once, I think it was something I saw on Amazon, where they had little old round washer-looking devices that they would fit on, and it held them up because that was heavy. So they stood up a lot better with that. That was a good idea. You could tell that they're a player, and they were thinking the same thing.
What? Oh. Gonzo said in chat, he's I guess this is a Christmas gift he's asking for. He wants Fantastic Four #1. So that one's only $100,000 in great shape.
Wow.
So, you just have to sell the house, Gonzo. You gotta. It's how bad you want it. It's really the
priorities in shape. It's fine.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, Mike. And of course, we knew you'd have figures to share because we know that you kept everything you've ever had from D&D, which makes all of us jealous because, you know, I have like a minuscule part of my D&D old days. And
Mark, one other thing I want to mention, the one specific thing I asked for Christmas is that art book that I can see back behind you, has all the old original artwork.
Yes, Art and Arcana.
Yeah, that's it. That was one thing I said I wanted. Yep. Yeah. And I've got another piece of D&D material right here. I've had lots of people try and buy it from me, offer hundreds of dollars. Y'all may have seen these before, right?
Yeah. That is a classic. That's going to be worth thousands of dollars.
That's right.
You hold on to that. That'll shoot past your comics, no problem.
Yeah. Very good. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Mike. Appreciate it. Thanks as always. You always come through. You come through for us. We appreciate it.
Enjoyed it.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Wow.
Dude, he's got the collection.
Yeah, I know. It makes me sick. Well, so I wanted to share my cool little. This is a nice one that I did not paint either. Yeah, he's just a little friendly, huggy kind of guy, you know, just a real friendly guy. I think I saw him
guest star on Barney once or something.
Yeah, he's just
one of the rejected Muppets.
He looks like he could really just give you a nice hug, you know.
I love the metallic paints that they make because they really bring out cool details. Like even if a monster doesn't have metal on them, if you want to look menacing, like with your Splicer Beast, the shiny arms help that key feature of the monster stand out. With that demon, you know, that shiny, you know, breastplate looking armor. Yeah. Like if you say like, if it's one thing, if you're talking to your players like, oh, you know, you hit it, but it bounces off its demon hide. But if they're looking at the mini and its muscles are shining, you're like, your sword glances off its gleaming pectorals, you know?
Right.
That's another level of intimidation.
No, I agree. I love it. No.
Awesome.
So in all and the spirit of full transparency, this is my attempt at painting, which is not, like I said, I've got a lot to learn. It's literally just like 3 colors, and I was like, man, that's kind of weak looking. So I need to work on, I think with this guy, maybe like using a wash or something to kind of get some of the details out a little bit, because I know that's something that interests me.
You know what helps the details, Mark, is those magnifying glasses you have. We can see them one more
That's
time.
True. I mean, I probably painted it a lot better, could actually see things on this, guys. It was like, it's like, oh, that looks like it might be a tongue, red. That looks, so that's, then it takes me a while to get things going. I'm working on this guy. I've only got his skin painted right now.
Is that a big hill giant?
It's a big hill giant. And he actually is kind of like to me, he's like a hillbilly hill giant. Yeah. He's ginormous. Yeah. So
I finished giant here. This looks like a big frost giant.
Yeah.
And once again, go metallic on some cool features to make them look scary.
I like that a lot.
I don't know who painted this one. It's either my sister or my mom. They're the best painters in the family. But
great.
One thing I love about this guy is if you look at it, you know, your mention only have a few colors. This guy's only got, like 5 or 6 colors on him?
Yeah, that's true.
Got a gray, a white, a blue, a green.
Yeah.
Like gold and silver accents, that bone color. You don't need to be like like Leonardo da Vinci with your palette. You know, you just got to have like a few key colors. Because if you think about it, you know, like a lot of these monsters are known, you know, just for a few key colors, like the dragons. Like you color the dragons however you want, but most of them are red dragon, blue dragon. Speaking of dragons
are always good.
Here's a green dragon.
Dude,
he's all green. Just I think 2 or 3 shades of green.
Who painted that one? Is that Allie painted that one or your mom?
I think it might have been Allie or Mom. It's one of them.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, it's got like those kind of like there are parts where she went back over with a second coat to give it kind of a darker scales and like shading and contour.
See, that's next level. I need to work
some
on
pro tips for you.
Gonzo said he did it. No way.
Gonzo, hang on. You're telling me that Gonzo
you painted it? No.
Did this masterpiece? Man. But looking at the eyes, you know, let's see if it'll focus on it.
Oh, I think me as in he wants to come in, I guess. Maybe that's what he's saying. Maybe he wants to defend himself. So yeah, that's a really that's some good art there.
One.
I love it. I love that was a great choice on the greens. That was really eye catching, and that's one thing. I had to work on that too. I look at the back of the container and I'm like, oh, these are the colors it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I have a Bahir here. Here is a Bahir. Still in the box. We still got to paint them, and on the back they kind of give you like a sample.
Yes,
like, this is the color scheme you'll see in the book. But what's stopping? What I love about these paintable figures. What's stopping a DM from saying, you know what? What if a Bahir crawled out of a volcano? He's glowing red and has magma dripping at like a magma breath instead of a lightning breath.
Right.
What's stopping a DM from making this guy bright red?
Right.
I think it was my wife. She painted this Moraz, kind of a weird darker blue. And instead of giving it like that weird hot ridge, she gave like bony spikes.
I love it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Customized it a bit.
Yeah, I love it. That's good. Yeah, Gonzo said he did the Undead Dragon.
The Undead Dragon? You mean this?
Oh, look at that thing.
This guy's cool. I'll get out of camera.
That is amazing.
Yeah, this guy is awesome.
That one would strike fear, and I like that it looked. With the choice of the green makes it like it was once alive and now undead.
Yeah, kind of like the tattered remains of flesh.
Uh-oh. Shh.
Hey.
Can't talk about him too much there. Hey, buddy.
Hey, guys.
You're looking a little not so perky. I don't know why.
No, I tried to eat something, but yeah.
Wow. So they gave you 5 hours of radiation, and this is how it knocks you down. Who knew?
Yeah, I had a allergic reaction today again, like I did the first time.
You're kidding.
And so that took. These cats are everywhere. So I took.
Dungeon cats, man.
I had to get injected stuff right into my heart. Everything goes right to the heart.
Yes.
Port.
Yeah.
So, and I'm hooked up now to a machine that's pumping a bunch of stuff in me. But anyway, it was interesting today.
Yeah.
But
right.
Well, don't let that cat play with your cord.
The cat's like, cord. I want to chew it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So today, because they gave me an extra week off between, usually it's a 2-week schedule, but they gave me an extra week. I was able to eat I felt great last week. I ate Thanksgiving meal 3 times a day, all the leftovers. So I was losing weight. I lost, 20 something pounds, and then no, cat, stop. And then hold on, these guys are gonna kill me. And and then the last time I went in, they said I lost another 5, and I was freaking out because I got to maintain weight somewhere. So, but last week I gained it back. I have gained 6 pounds. So I was. So when I went today, they're like, yeah, you're gaining weight.
Yeah.
Anyway, and the stream is cool. I loved all the minis you guys showed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Overboard. Speaking of the stream going good, do you guys have wives that paint? I need one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't really interested, but she watched us do it a couple times. She sat down, and then hers ended up being that giant.
Yeah.
There's a ice or frost dragon somewhere around Logan, a big one. Hers is really good. Look at that.
I know.
That's awesome. She did like the little white shading over the blue scales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
sick, unbelievable.
If not, it was me.
Next level.
But also the beholder she took. That was the first thing she painted was a beholder, and it came out awesome.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, and all the spell effects that it shoots out, which the cats ate a couple of them off, but
Dungeon cats.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, we love minis, and we thank everybody that came on to share. I think we'll probably do more of these here and there because people love minis. I don't get tired of looking at them. I don't buy a bus, but I have a lot of work to be done to be at the level of some of the painters. But yes, Logan's got a wife that paints too. That's handy. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I didn't know that. That was new information. I didn't know Leah was painting them. That's good.
Yeah, we're trying to, get her more and more indoctrinated into D&D. Pretty new into it, but
trying to win her back after that 8-hour Tomb of Horrors that we hit her with. When
that's your first session, it's kind of where do you go from there? But Mark, I think what would help her, learn to love D&D a little bit more is if next time we all paint, you come over with those cool glasses.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, how much of a serious.
I think this is,
this is.
I am not messing around. You know, when I come over like this is.
That's a thumbnail.
It's just. That's right.
Yeah, that's
painting D&D minis.
So a couple tips I wanted to talk about too.
Okay.
I try to pick 2 figures to paint because you do have to let one dry or wait for a color to dry.
Yes, I learned that with this big old guy I was painting. I'm like, okay, now I get to wait an hour for the next one.
Right. If you have another one that you can, and especially if they're in kind of the same color palette or something. But
yes, good tip.
Yeah, you can be working on that one while one's drying and then vice versa. And I found that got better for me. Plus, I get a couple more done and I don't have all these gray unpainted figures. So that was one. And then 2, as usual, if you just don't feel like DMing one night and you have your players come over and be like, hey guys, let's do something different. You're still sitting around the tables. You're still eating the snacks. You're still, when we can get together, you know, COVID and everything. You're still spending time together, and it's still D&D. It's just another facet of it. And you'd be surprised that people, their creative energy, how that comes out when they paint, which is something totally different than role-playing a character. So give your players a chance, especially once they get into it, if they're newer players.
Yes.
You go to the store, you get the character that they are, and then you give that to them and say, hey, why don't you paint it? You know what your colors are. You know, you know what, if your sword is a fire sword, then go ahead and paint it red, or like they'll get in. I think
that's a great tip. Yeah, customize your
way to get your characters more engaged in the game. Is that they have their little miniature of what they envision their person that they're playing on the table,
right?
Instead of a random thing that just separates it or something. There's other things too. Some people use coins, or what do you call those? Little
tokens.
Mm-hmm. Some people use the paper ones that you slide into a little slot, but figures, there's something fun about them, and they really aren't that expensive. It's just the same problem we have with dice, is that you can never have too many. So
well, and I love it that it's a great D&D downtime acting. Yeah. It's still D&D adjacent.
That's You can, hey, take these home and come back. And now it takes a couple 3 weeks to play together. They have something they're doing that still keeps them thinking about the game. So a dating site.
Yeah, I think Cujo is really, he's enthralled by this idea of wives that paint. So he's wanting to know. I think you might be onto something, Cujo. You might want to. This might be a winning idea, a D&D dating site. I think you might be really onto something.
I saw a girl on Twitter post that very same thing. A
D&D.
Like a 20-something-year-old post like, why isn't there a D&D dating site?
There you go, Cujo.
So I bet you there actually is, whether on Reddit or somewhere else.
Yeah. Gosh. There's one for farmers. I mean, that's pretty specific. Yeah. So, I mean.
Now,
new idea for Kickstarter is D20.
And a lot of Comic Cons, or big ones. New York City, Lake, MegaCon here in Orlando. I've been to a lot of Comic Cons over the years, and they do speed dating there. And that's not something I would ever want to be involved with, seeing the people at the convention. So I get at least a site you could just keep swiping.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's dangerous to be in-person speed dating. Man, that's
a different kind of live stream that we don't want to get involved in.
Yes. Yeah, no dungeon class will not be doing a dating live stream where we just have people come on and tell it. No, we're gonna nix that idea right now. So that's not gonna be
beach, hiking, fishing. It's gonna be like my bio. I mean, we're all 3 very happily married, but my wife knows I'm a comic collector. That's a winner.
Yeah.
That'll bring them in.
Yeah.
I collect dice, minis, and now I get other cool stuff that they may not think is as nerdy as that, but you gotta.
Yeah, real winner.
Tell them everything. So.
Right up front.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
All right. So Matt Nerdy mentions there's a great channel. Sarasto's Painting, great channel, painting next level stuff. Yeah. See, I watched those videos and they're very helpful and really instructive. I bought a bunch of craft paints. I was painting my craft paints and I watched one of these things and the guy was saying, well, I'm going to use some low quality paints to paint my mini. And I'm like, they're looking, you mean like the ones I use? You know, I felt really bad, but they're very instructive. And I learned about washes and stuff, which I think is very intriguing. You know, the little, like you water down black, for example, really watery, and then it fills in all the cracks and kind of highlights all the definition, which is what I think I'm going to do with my big guy right here. I'm going to use that to get some definition on him because he's got a lot to show here. He even has Gonzo. I was actually painting this guy. I'm like, I can't believe I'm painting nipples on this guy. He's actually got,
unlike the Batman, what was it, George Clooney's?
You're right. Yeah. But I'm like, wow.
On it. One of them.
Yes.
One of them.
The Val Kilmer one, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have that on and you got to paint his undercarriage too. You got to reach under that.
I don't think I want to look at that.
It's a different live stream, Dad.
Yeah. So obviously, this is where our live streams go. We start talking about undercarriages and nipples. This is where we end up.
Only.
What?
Of Hill Giants only, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. This is a family channel for crying out loud. Yeah. All right. So let's say water with a little black paint. There we go. This is the kind of stuff. Water with a little black paint, put it on, let it dry and repeat. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's how I got the definition on the Shambling Mound. All right, good. Cool. Yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff that I think is useful. I like this. Yeah, and I think that seems like a fairly simple thing. At least I haven't tried it yet. Maybe it won't be when I try it. But the using washes, that's good. Yeah. What's this one?
I have a quick little one. I don't know if this will show up. This is one of the guys I painted. He's one of my characters. He's a Tabaxi rogue, arcane trickster.
You could put him full screen, maybe.
Yeah,
let's try. How do I do? Let's see. If I do this,
little arcane trickster. Got 2 swords, simple armor. But on the fur parts, I took the brush and I like kind of tapped on it sideways.
Nope.
So that the imprint of the bristles was left in the paint. So it kind of like little fur marks. I don't know if it turned out good or not, but I did it. And I think it looks kind of cool. It kind of gives them a little bit more definition. And I did that with the purple, and then I did it again. I used a watered down black, and I just kind of like lightly dabbed on those spots to kind of give the fur a little bit of texture so it wasn't just flat purple. Because I left the armor and the clothing and stuff kind of that more matte color.
Mm-hmm.
Give his little bit of texture on his fur.
Like it.
I did some weird things. So experiment. Do weird things with your paints, with your brushes, with your tools.
And Overboard could teach us a lot. He's working tonight, but his channel, I know he does that a lot, and he focuses on minis quite a bit. So when we do this again, and we'll definitely, bring him back in and have him show us stuff.
Yeah, and stuff like this. I don't.
Yes.
A wet palette, keep your paints fresher. So yeah, these are good stuff. Good tips. Very good. Yeah, painting's a whole area that I'm not super skilled at, but I'm learning and I want to learn more. And I told Gonzo, and he was kind of hurt by this comment, but I think this is one of those hobbies that you can do well into your old age. Like I think about, fishermen, they tie those little flies and stuff, and old D&Ders are painting their minis,
Yeah, it's a good thing. I also like Dungeoneer Pack's symbol now. He's got a D20 with his name.
I like that too.
Meant to tell him that. God, I saw that he.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's really neat.
Yeah, it's very professional looking.
Oh.
Professional looking?
Your mic, I think it's your mic. It's only done it a few times this stream where it fuzzes like that. You don't hear it until you watch the playback. It's real loud.
Oh, that's all right.
Who knows? Technology is what it is.
It's a $40 mic. It's not the Yeti like on your side.
Yeah.
Which brings us to, I wanted to share something. We got our sound recorder. This is want to thank people that have given and have bought shirts and mugs and any little donations that they've done. It allows us to do things like this. So this sound recorder we're going to use to help upgrade our. This is one piece in the puzzle to upgrade our sound on our videos. But also, I don't know if Logan even knows this. We're planning on doing a monthly podcast. That's something coming down the way, and it'll allow some of our more camera shy people, members of Dungeon Class group, our playing group that can chime in and talk about D&D. We'll just get on there and be a real kind of laid back thing, monthly podcast that we offer as part of channel memberships, which is something that's coming. We're not there yet, but that'll be coming in the future. So, but it'll be great because we'll have people like Leah maybe join us, and Carrie, and maybe Kaylee, and some other. Maybe they don't want to. Oh, I don't want to get in front of the camera, but they'd be glad to sit around, just talk about D&D stuff, and we'll get some of their input on things. And we thought it was an opportunity for them to be included and hear from them, real laid back. We'll just talk for 45 minutes, an hour or so, just hanging out, talking. So that's coming in the future. So I wanted to thank everybody for. Just want everybody to know where the money's going. This is the kind of thing. We're trying to upgrade the quality and bring you as good of quality stuff. And apparently, I gotta get a better mic at some point.
Maybe it could be us too. Next time it happens, I'll have Logan mute again.
Okay.
Right? Happens, we'll see. I'll see if it goes away because you can't hear it.
No, not until I play back. Yeah.
We'll find that out.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks for everyone that came and chat, and also thanks for Rivers and D20 for sharing. That was awesome.
Don't forget about that Kickstarter.
Yes. Yeah. Go check it out.
Alphinious.
Gonzo, you got to go check out the box set. He has an unboxing on there.
Yeah,
Did you check it out? Yeah. So.
Mark, it's you.
It's me.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. That's why I was trying to see what was his favorite, because he has several options where you can buy one box or the next box or whatever.
Yeah.
It gets pretty pricey, but you're getting a lot of stuff for it.
Right.
I was trying to get to if we could only get one, which one?
Right.
He mentioned the first one, and that probably makes sense. That's
trying to get something else under the tree for Christmas, Dad. Wink, wink.
No, I don't know if that'll be. Starters are a little different.
Yeah.
You fund it, and then they have the money to actually produce the item and send it out. So it's like in a business,
future Christmas tree
product before it goes to conventions or the stores. So, and you're helping them fund it because, it's a cool way that they do things now. It's like Shark Tank, but the public does it, same kind of thing. But yeah, very good live stream, and I'm gonna pop out. All right. Well, are you getting on with?
I think we're about to end that.
Let's end it.
Yeah, we've been on for an hour, but I see Matt had a good point. He wants us to have Alphinious back on. He is very charismatic.
He's cool.
Yeah.
To just do whatever our subject is. If he's got interested or has something to say, that's what we're inviting in. I mean, Dungeoneers, these guys, they know so much, and they offer so much to the conversation, the community.
Right.
That if any of you guys, if you want to come in, and while we're still small and growing as a channel, know you guys really well, and then we'll get big, which we're planning on eventually getting bigger and bigger. You guys will be our core, and I feel that already. It feels like we have a group of people that are just good, solid D&D people that have a lot of knowledge behind and creativity.
I agree.
Behind their little name that we see in the chat, there's a lot.
Yeah. No, I love this.
And I personally feel twice as lucky because in my youth I get one-on-one conversations with Wally DM and Fred and like all of our friends that we've been able to make, and all these other cool channels, all of our friends in the chat. Like it's been really cool to get a bunch of different perspectives to improve my game, grow my love for this cool hobby, and just connect with some fun people.
Yep.
So
next
Dungeon Class forever.
Live chat, Mark. Are we thinking of doing like a Christmas giveaway?
We can do that. Yeah, we can do that. So just to let everybody know, we'll get more information out, but our next one is December 14th, I believe it is. Yes, December 14th.
No day for me, but we can do it whenever. I still have a live chat, and then whatever. But
yeah, well, you don't know. It may be rescheduled. Yeah, if there's one thing that's definite, nothing's definite.
I play day by day, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. I appreciate it. It's been great. And with that,
class
dismissed.